I'm actually gonna report a bit more on the sad story. This talks about Yacine, who thinks, I felt that Nip never wanted me to be involved from the start. This is like Valorant news. Welcome to the channel, and I guess the European Valorant scene still doesn't have as many established names as an American counterpart. However, this doesn't stop it from having the absolute powerhouse rosters waiting for organizations to pick them up. One of those is undoubtedly Bonk, who impressed event after event, placing second in the level 2 Valorant Clash. Good luck to that. Mandatory Cup and Absolute Masters. The Spike GG got the opportunity to sit down with Yacine to ask him about his transition from Counter-Strike Global Offensive to Valorant, his surprising climb on rank ladder with no comms. This is crazy, no comms, and you can climb a ranked ladder, and how it affected his playstyle positively, his thoughts on the importance of teams sticking together for long periods of time, and the most interesting Valorant eSports scene outside of Europe and North America. Answers are edited after an interview for glamour and clarity. What was the thing that caught your eye in Valorant, and how made you decide it was style you want to play professionally? I'm a huge MOBA fan. Like Counter-Strike, Global Offensive became my main game due to the fact that my stream loved that game so much. I've actually always loved Heroes of New Earth so much, more than CSGO, and I've even found League of Legends to be more enjoyable than CSGO ever was, even though I only played League of Legends for a couple of months. So when Riot announced Project A, when I heard about Project A, I was super hyped. Back in Valorant, I immediately saw the combination between FPS and MOBA and fell in love. I've literally played 12 hours a day since the closed beta every day. Just the perfect game for me. When playing the game, I used to solo queue without communication in the early days because I felt it made me get closer to the actual game. I don't understand him exactly on that, but back then when the Radiant was called Valorant, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, that they had to change it fast. It was harder to get the highest rank. However, I still managed to become one of the first people to get their solo queue without comms also. That's crazy. So around this time when I found out how hard it was for people to climb the rank even with 5 stacks, then I realized that I'm also doing something right. Then got introduced to Ninjas in Pajamas as a stand-in and just kept destroying people even in official and scrims, same way I would in ranked, which just proves how good he is. And there's this vibe between me and the game. I just get it. I don't know how, when I do it, and how do I do it, so I felt kind of natural to pursue a professional career. Do you think it is something that can help players improve the game and map awareness without having the need to be told where everyone is? I feel like it's an undercover training technique, if I call it that, especially in such high ranks. He said, yes, I wholeheartedly believe that turning off your communication forces. So no comms in solo queue? Oh my god, that's crazy. This guy's crazy. You use the incredible Riot games implemented Valorant more often. The Raider actually sucks in my honest opinion. If you need agents to speak for themselves in most situations, I try telling my teammates this a lot. Finish your scenario. Sometimes when someone calls out it's A in a panic, you tend to over-rotate even if it's only 2A, and you know there is 2B, you leave when you really don't believe you would, and often stressed in the retake because your teammate sounds frightened. Removing the communication will allow you to play your role to its fullest in a more calm way. You'll start to feel timings and want to leave your position. That's crazy. That guy's crazy. And let the smoke throw or reveal arrow or just satchel in. I truly believe that it's so much to gain from playing like a MOBA player in League of Legends without communication, seeing as you have all your tools necessary within the game. There is one thing you really need to be able to do, however, and that is to be self-critique. Always, and I mean always, try to improve yourself instead of complaining on your team. There's always something you could have done better. I can definitely agree with this. Take this from someone who's watched over 100 demos of myself analyzing what I'm doing and how I'm doing. I record myself playing ranked and then I watch it afterwards. That's how I get demos for myself. How much do you think it helps coming from Counter-Strike over offensive background? That's definitely a good question. Do you believe former CSGO players have an advantage over PUBG and Overwatch players, for example, coming to Valorant, especially latter since they were used to abilities being core points of their gameplay? I can't really tell you what's going on to the advantage transferring from what game. I mean, the Frank came from Overwatch and destroyed everyone in the early stages of the game. And then I think he kind of quit, right? Pretty sure he quit. Bonkar came from Paladins. Zipan and Hoppy were Fortnite players, and myself as a CSGO player what fills everything I need to know about the game ability. I feel that we unlocked 7% of the true potential of the game. Sorry about that. There's still so much to be unlocked and so much to learn. For example, Scream has 10 times better aim than I have. In CSGO, he will destroy me in FPL. But, you know, he has a lot of game sense, so it makes a lot of sense. However, in this game, due to the fact that the outplay potential is so much bigger than in CS, I destroyed him. Still love a deal. No hate here. What I'm trying to say this is, I don't believe that you need any CS fundamentals to become good at this game. That's definitely true. But you have to still learn them, you know? If you're a smart mobile player, I think you'll go further in the game than if you're a script CSGO aimer. Mobile games are really good because you need kind of like connect that stuff. You can't carry. One person can't carry. That's why Smurfs are a bit off in a disadvantage. Ninjas in Pajamas don't want to sign me, reveals Yacine. First, you were playing as a stand-in for Ninjas in Pajamas before deciding to form Bonk with Bonkar. What made you decide to create your own team together? Well, Ninjas in Pajamas did not want to sign me. The reason behind this are many. I've been told at first it had to do with my scope, but bro, you're good. I had to prove myself and prove myself. I did. I performed especially for 4 hours straight tournaments, yet did not get an offer. That's sad. That became a matter of money. At the time, I was still streaming and wanted a little high salary because of my brand, Yacine, and because I thought it would make their face out for Valorant team. However, their request immediately got turned down and I had settling for a player salary. It then became a matter of future. Would I still be good today skill-wise, and would I still be a good team player personally-wise? It honestly got me to a point where one of the people in the NIP said, I have a bad gut feeling about Yacine. Oh my god, that's sad. Meaning he decided to not keep me based on his intuition, which is fine, honestly. I'm a spiritual person and often based my actions on intuition. Honestly, I just felt NIP never wanted me to be involved from the start. There were too many different reasonings as to why they should not sign me. Even when my whole team loved me, including the coach, and we got to playoffs in the tournaments we played it seemed like as if I done something personally to someone in IP during my early years of being a streamer, but I really do not know. It's really sad because sometimes like it's not all sunshine. There's a lot going on in esports scene. Basically got to the point where Bonkar had to stand me up for the management, which then cost him his own contract, something no one has ever done to me. And then the team kind of split up, Bonkar, and then I had to rebuild everything and found Ziz and Saf. We taught them everything we knew about the game and practiced the entire summer trying to become the best. And we become one of the absolutely best. So he rose to the top. We currently in a rebuilding phase right now. Thankfully this time we're not starting from zero, which we kind of had to do after NIP. And thankfully there's no tournaments coming soon, so we have time on our side this time. Contrary to now, this is like one of the few questions. This goes on and on and on. And we're going to try to report everything. We're contrary in a rebuilding phase right now. So let's look. Do you still believe squads who stick together for longer periods of time can outplay star-studded teams just because they're more used to each other's playstyles and better coordination over time? I think playing for the long run is the only way to actually becoming the Astralis in Valorant. I like this one. We did play with Melonhead, a friend of mine that I brought in. However, we came to the conclusion that he did not have what it took in that time for him to become the best with us. Swapping out for Aaron, which we later decided to bench in order to try out Draken. Seth leaving came out with a shocker to everyone. He got poached by a top organization as an individual and decided that his future would look brighter going in that direction. I would also like to add Ziz got the same offer but decided to stick around instead. That's really nice. I really don't blame Saf for leaving, yet I don't agree it was the best choice, but at the same time, what do I know? Like, it's really nice that they're actually bullying teams, they're trying out new things, they're, you know, making mistakes, they're making errors, fixes. It's important to remember, if you really want to be around for a while, you're probably better off sticking to one team trying to build an empire. So what do you want to see from Riot in terms of Valorant competition now that the Ignition series are officially over? We're getting close to the end here, so stick with me. I fully trust and have confidence in Riot Games, knowing that there's going to be the best team, the best for this game. The only thing I don't want to happen is the Valorant professional scene becoming what CSGO was in terms of close top 30 invite-only environment. So that's what definitely Valorant is doing. Like, oh, you can only, it's probably going to be everyone has the same open season. I've told my own team that if the day comes where I stop performing, stop playing with me for my own sake and your own. So which region I think will most likely rise to compete with Europe and North America? I definitely, personally, I would say Asia, but he says, I think Brazilians have amazing talent in form of mechanics, but I do believe ability-wise, the Koreans and Japanese, yeah, that's true. The Japanese Middle Masters League has given up some intense matches, so I understand your love for your scene. 100%. The way of some teams play split is something beautiful to watch. Yeah, like the Koreans are so damn strong. They're gonna be really strong in Valorant. It's just gonna take time. There are several regions that expressed this so far in the Valorant competitive scene. Which one would you put right after NA and EU? Ooh, I really want to see Vision Strikers competing against us in NA, so I'm gonna say Korea. Do you think there is a notable difference? I mean, what do you think is currently the best player in NA? That's a really good question. And the best player in EU, and why? I think it's way too early to say, which I totally agree with him. There's too much hidden talent. Just last night I played an opponent that outsmarted, out-aimed, and outshined me in the entire game. Give that player a couple weeks in a professional environment, and maybe that's your new number one player. That was just in just last night, like he was playing a solo queue. That's crazy. There are some players who never actually, you know, maximize their potential. Which players do you see currently performing in the best NA and EU respectively? Not counting myself, I would consider Ardis from G2 eSports to be one of the best players at the moment. Then it's safe to say it's yourself. I think I have potential to be one of the greatest, just like every player. I still have a couple of things to sort out regarding my play on, but it's marathon, not a race. I think any specific players you have shortlisted to join Bonk as your 5th and final member. We have a beast, you will have to wait and see. Considering Bonk is starting to become a staple name for Swedish Valorant players, would you want to eventually get picked up together as a team or continue representing yourself? As a team. He wants to stay as a team, become one of the best. We have so much potential becoming the absolute best of the best. We just gotta stick together and grind out. Well, all I can say is Bonk and the rest, you know, Yacine, good luck. Anyway, guys, this is Femin, sign out. Peace, guys.